watching. I'm Margot Kinberg, and this is In the Spotlight, a closer look at a crime novel. As this is posted, we recently learned of the passing of Martin Cruz, who became famous as the author of the Arkady Rinko series. As a way of remembering Cruz-Smith's work, let's turn the spotlight on one of those novels and take a closer look at Havana Bay. Arkady Rinko has received word from the Russian embassy in Havana that his friend Sergei Pribluda is in trouble and has gone missing. So he travels to Havana to investigate, see what's going on, and help if he can. He's only been in Havana for a couple of hours when he gets word that a body has been discovered in Havana Bay. The body matches the description of Rinko's friend, and the local police are inclined to put the death down to a tragic accident, and it certainly could be one. But Rinko isn't even completely convinced that the body is Pribluda, let alone that his death was an accident. So he starts to ask questions and conducts a sort of investigation of his own. Almost immediately, he runs into trouble. The Cuban police do not want him involved in any investigation. To them, his only role should be to escort Pribluda's body back to Moscow. To add to that, there are dangerous people who don't want Rinko to get too curious about some of the things going on in Havana. He is warned more than once, and not always politely, to stay out of the matter. Then there are other brutal deaths, and it seems they are connected to whatever Pribluda was involved in at the time he died. As Rinko continues to ask questions, he begins to work with Havana police detective Ofelia Osario. Neither trusts the other at first, but she is a good cop who doesn't want to be responsible for anything that might happen to Rinko. And he knows she's a valuable link to what's going on locally, as well as an interpreter and cultural translator. Together, the two uncover some things that are linked to some people in some very high places, and they'll have to be careful if they're to stay alive. So what are the elements in this novel? What holds this one together? Well, this is a thriller. So there's action, fast pacing, and a sense that all is not as it seems. There's some violence too, and although it's not protracted, it is sometimes brutal. There's explicitness as well. Readers who don't care for the grit that's in some thrillers will want to know that this thriller is gritty. The story takes place in late 1990s Havana, and that's clear both in the physical setting and the local culture and climate. It's a beautiful, vibrant city with a rich culinary, religious, and cultural tradition. It's also been deeply affected by the breakup of the Soviet Union and the shifting relationship with Russia. The economy has suffered, so there's food rationing as well as a thriving black market. People do and use whatever they can to get along. And many Cubans harbor a great deal of resentment towards Russia because of the economic situation and because of the way they see that Russia's treated them. In fact, the mistrust many Cubans feel for Russians is evident throughout the novel, and Rinko bears his share of that. The story is told from two perspectives, Rinko's and Osario's, both third-person past tense. They're very different people with different views and different pasts. There's a bit of cultural clash, too. Still, they're both determined to solve this case, and they recognize that in each other. In fact, the relationship between Rinko and Osario is another element in the novel. They don't trust each other at all at first, but they learn that each has skills and information that the other needs. Both are on the side of the angels, as that saying goes, and slowly they develop an understanding that develops into something more. Havana Bay is the story of 3 deaths at a time when Cuba is trying to forge its own way, completely independent of Russia. It features a close look at Havana, warts and all, a set of disturbing murders, and a protagonist who doesn't let anything get between him and the truth. This has been In the Spotlight. I'm Margot Kinberg. Thanks for watching.